Thank you, Tyus.
Great to hear from Tyus Hill, our Jesuit senior. Good scout. And the ball is going to be taken at about the 14-yard line from Parker Brown's kick. Right side to the 25 and out of bounds. On the return was Garrett Burke. So Kamar Wheaton is the elite 5-star running back as a junior that should start in the backfield for Lakeview Centennial. Their quarterback is Jared Adams. He doesn't throw the ball all that much, averaging about 17 or 18 a game. And Jesuit will start on defense tonight, Jack. And you know, for some of those seniors or all those seniors out there, this is a special evening.
It is, and you know, it's not surprising to hear they don't throw the ball a lot. I mean, I wouldn't either if I had one of the top running backs in the nation in my backfield. You got to take advantage of your team's strengths.
1st and 10, Jesuit at their own, Lakeview Centennial at their own 27-yard line. Adams going right side down the sideline. Good coverage over there as it goes incomplete. Jalen Spicer on the coverage. So you saw that Adams there, not afraid to go up top, maybe trying to loosen everyone up. You know, Jesuit's going to be keen on the running game.
I think you're exactly right there, Tom. That's the right analysis. They thought Jesuit is going to be keen so much on the run, and Kamar Wheaton, let's throw one down the field and see what happens, see if we can't make that defense aware of those receivers as well. 3
wide receivers left now. One goes in motion. That's Burke. He gets the forward pass as he comes in motion on the wide receiver pop or the wide receiver screen. Gets some positive yardage. Gets forced out of bounds by Jack Barton. Ford Buckner also over there.
You know, I think a lot of people call that the Jet series. We always kind of call it the Pop because of the old Capel days from 20 years ago when they ran that Pop series.
Yeah, and they ran it a lot. First time we really saw it come into vogue. But you're right. Jet series is what a lot of people refer to it now. So 3rd down, we'll call it about 6. Back to pass Adams. Good protection. Screen pass right side. And good open field tackle. Short of a 1st down, and Jesuit looks like they forced a 3 and out. I think that was Jack Barton who made the play. And so Jesuit forces the 3 and out as Christian Alaco goes back to receive this punt. So that's the way this should start for the Rangers.
That's exactly right, and that was a nice tackle out in space, which the Rangers certainly need on a game like this, and so that'll get everyone excited. Jack Barton, the veteran, with a good play.
And he is one of your captains. So 4th down and about 6, and punting time for Centennial. Esteban Villarreal with the kick. He goes 37 yards. Alaco fair catches it at the 31-yard line, and that's where Jesuit will take over, Jack. What are you thinking tonight for Jesuit when E.J. Smith back in the lineup? That should help the Rangers open things up because you got to pay attention to E.J. Smith just having him on the field.
Well, that's right, and he has such versatility running the football and catching it as well, and it just makes you key on him. Not unlike the Rangers are going to really keep an eye on Kamar Wheaton tonight, and so with Jake Taylor only 70 yards shy of 1,000 yards, which is an amazing year, and the receivers that Jesuit has, it's great to have E.J. back.
Taylor and E.J. in the backfield. Play action. Holman looking deep over the middle, and it's incomplete off the hands of Wyatt Garrett. Running a post pattern on the coverage over there was Brian Jones, but that was a good throw by Holman. Just not able to quite bring it in.
Interesting, Tom. Both teams decided to take a shot down the field on their first play, wanting to loosen up that defense a little bit, and that's good stuff.
Good stuff. Good route. Good route. Just not able to make the catch. But, you know, we saw a great game from Wyatt Garrett last week. I'm sure he will respond. Handoff, E.J. Smith, right side 40, right sideline, midfield, 40, 30, and E.J. Smith back in action with a big run down inside the 30-yard line to about the 25.
Yeah, that's welcome back, E.J., after almost 2 full games. Really got around that right side and broke free on the sidelines and took off for a great run.
44 yards on the run to the 25-yard line. Handoff, Jake Taylor, another big hole. Another big gain. He picked up about 9 down to the 17-yard line. What a run by Taylor, and they're going tempo. Jesuit quickly back to the line of scrimmage. There's the quick snap. They hand it off to E.J. Smith. Another huge hole into the secondary, and he goes in for the score with 9:47 to go in the first quarter. 17-yard run. What a drive. It started off with 44 yards from E.J. Smith. It finishes up with 17. And the Rangers are up 6-0.
Well, that's the combination of a great senior running back with a fantastic blocking scheme up front. Tom, did you see that hole that EJ had to burst through? When he has that cup of room, it's a touchdown every time.
And it was a great burst, but you're right, Jack. A huge hole as the Core 5 Industrial Partners. John Linebaugh, extra point is good. Well, Jack, why don't we keep it here and talk about my friend Corey Barsh from Town Square Mortgage. Do you need a refinance? Do you need a mortgage loan? Call Corey Barsh at Town Square Financial. Tell him Tom Walsh sent you. Corey will make it smooth, make it easy, make it fun, and he'll get you the best deal going in the market. Call Corey Barsh from Town Square Mortgage. So, Jack, we have two great running backs, three really. Jake Taylor is a great running back in his own right. But you saw the Rangers go heavily to E.J. Smith and Jake Taylor. 3 plays, touchdown. Let's see if Kamar Wheaton gets involved in the action here. The scoring drive summary brought to you by Condon, Tobin, Sladek, Thornton. 4 plays, 69 yards, 47 seconds comes off the clock. E.J. Smith, 17 yards. 12th rushing TD, 17th overall. And I said 3 plays, Jack, whereas the first play was an incomplete pass.
Yes, it was, and we both like the fact that the Rangers were trying to stretch out the defense a little bit, but I like that solid running game.
And the Rangers, again, kicking it left, and it's going to go out of bounds. They were trying to keep it away from Kamar Wheaton, and that one just got a little bit more left than I think Parker Brown wanted. And so there'll be a flag in pretty good field position for Lakeview Centennial. So you're the visiting team, Jack. You've come in. You know, Lakeview Centennial seems to have some size advantage out there, but Jesuit has jumped on them quick with a 4-play scoring drive to make it 7-0. So now what do you do? I think you got to see if you can get some of the running game going with Wheaton.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that they tried some different things, but, you know, he's their best player, and you got to have the ball in his hands.
I think they're going to re-kick the ball. So interesting decision here by the Patriots. As instead of getting what would be pretty good field position after the ball goes out of bounds on the kickoff, we'll have to see where they will actually get the ball. But Jesuit, so if you're looking on your computer screen, Jesuit's going left to right, and they're trying to kick it way over to the left side. Wheaton is more toward the middle of the field. Now, they got another good a return man, Garrett Burke, back deep as well, but interesting decision here, Jack. I don't know the last time I saw someone want the re-kick, so let's see what Parker Brown does.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you get such nice field position, and that's because, obviously, want to avoid some of these collisions on kickoffs. But you're right, Tom. They're saying, hey, let's get a chance to run it back.
And that ball is going to be kicked pretty deep to Garrett Burke at the 14-yard line, straight ahead to the 20, middle of the field. Has a man in front with a block. Outside to the 25, good coverage by Jalen Spicer and forces him out of bounds at the 30-yard line, and that's where they will take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, you know, Jalen has got some speed too, and I think that perhaps the returner thought that he was going to get around the side there and was headed towards the Jesuit sidelines, but Jalen Spicer turned on the Jets and was able to force him out of bounds.
So if they would have taken the penalty, Jack, they would have gotten the ball at their own 30-yard line. They opt instead for the re-kick, and guess what? They're going to start at their own 31-yard line.
There you go.
So they got that extra yard. So I guess that's why I'm up here in the booth instead of down there on the field. 1st and 10, handoff, Kamar Wheaton. He bursts into the lane, and he is taken down at about the 37-yard line, gained about 5 or 6 on the play.
Kamar Wheaton is brought down by Austin Wood at the 37-yard line.
Austin Wood is a senior that has really played well this year. I think the defensive line was one of our most inexperienced areas. You know, the most experienced guy there is Ethan Lane, and he was more of an offensive player. And so that group with Peter Melly, Ethan Lane, and Austin Wood, they've been very, very good up front.
They have indeed. And, of course, Mitchell Campbell comes in that linebacker position, often rushes off the right edge. So it's 2nd down 4 at their own 37-yard line. Down 7-0. Jesuit up early. There's another handoff. And that is going to be a 1st down out to about the 41, maybe the 42.
Kamar Wheaton is brought down by
and that's Kamar Wheaton. So that's a 1st down. So 2 plays out to Kamar Wheaton.
Yeah, you know, Tom, I'm just looking there. I know we mentioned this sometimes, and you don't really get the stats like you used to in the old days, but that's a nice-sized offensive line by Lakeview Centennial.
Yeah, no, they do have some good size. Just looking at the eye test, you think they would be a very powerful running game. Wheaton in the backfield, 3 wide receivers to the left. Now they swing Wheaton out to the right. Ball thrown, ball caught on a slant pattern. Jalen Spicer quickly makes the tackle. Jalen Davis made the tackle, he's made the catch, so a battle of Jalen's on that play.
Yeah, nice catch, though, in a good pattern. I like the way that the quarterback fired things in there, made it nice and easy. No one else could have made a play, and I'm glad Jalen Spicer for us was right there, but a nice 7-yard gain.
Jalen Davis on the reception, 2nd and 3 at their own 49-yard line. Jesuit up 7-0. Wheaton, they swing him out, they throw to him. He gets around the corner and gets a first down. Tommy Roy brings him down, but not until Wheaton takes it into Jesuit territory at the 46-yard line.
Tommy Roy, the senior linebacker, covering a lot of ground there. Not surprised to see that in a hot pursuit and a good firm tackle.
First and 10, Lakeview Centennial. You can tweet with us. We're at Radio Jesuit, The Twitters are. Chris Zink is on site. And tweet with us tonight. We want to hear from you. Let us know you're watching at JesuitRangers.org. Wheaton goes in motion to the right side. Adams going down the right side. Ball caught, 10, 5, touchdown. What a throw. Perfectly thrown ball from 46 yards. That was Jalen Davis who caught that slant pattern a minute ago, Jack, and perhaps that slant pattern opened up maybe some sort of a double move, and he was open for the touchdown.
Yeah, I think the Rangers were playing zone a little bit, and the cornerback on that side was occupied with a wide receiver, and then right up the seam went the receiver, and the safety just had a little tough time getting over there.
Extra point try brought to you by Core 5 Industrial Partners and John Linebaugh. Daniel Figueroa puts it through, and so we are tied at 7. So credit Lakeview Centennial for coming back to answer the Jesuit touchdown drive. It was a 4-play drive for Jesuit. 1 incomplete pass and then 3 great runs, 44, 9, and 17. And we'll get you the particulars, Jack, here when Chris gives it to us on that scoring drive.
You said that we played them and got a win 79 to 55 a few years ago in the playoffs, I guess 3 years ago in the playoffs. And we doubted we'd see another game like that. Maybe we spoke a little bit too soon.
Yeah, I agree. Why don't you give us those numbers?
Yeah, the scoring drive sponsors.
Condon, Tobin, Sladek, Thornton, 5 plays, 69 yards, 212. Comes off the clock. Jalen Davis, a 46-yard TD reception.
And so, just as quickly, Lakeview Centennial strikes back, and this could be a barn burner. We'll see how the Rangers respond.
So Jesuit about to receive. Their first kickoff tonight is taken by Fitzgerald at the 24-yard line. He's got Spicer out in front. Great block by Buckner to the 30, 35, 40, 45 midfield. The sophomore to the 40. Still on his feet to the 30. And is taken down. Fitzgerald with an electric run, the sophomore. He's had a lot of returns the last few games, and that by far his most electric.
Yeah, I know some people are watching this on the live stream, but if you're just listening to the radio, Robert Fitzgerald took the ball on the left side of the kickoff return team, came towards the middle, made a nice little dip like he was going to run up the middle of the field, and then came outside very quickly, faked out a number of guys, ran hard, broke a tackle, and it was a big run.
And Ford Buckner sprung him. Jalen Spicer also there, handoff to E.J. Smith. He goes right, ducks it right into the line, and gets to about the 21 for a short gain of about 2 or 3.
Well, E.J.'s been so successful running the ball tonight, I'm sure that the Rangers will give it to him until Lakeview Centennial proves that they can stop him. And, then you got Jake Taylor right there. I mean, that's a great 1-2 punch.
Pump fake, going deep. Alaco diving effort, and it's incomplete. Oh, my. Alaco may have stepped out of bounds as their official threw his hat down, Jack. Alaco was the first to touch it. It was incomplete, but that's why the official has dropped his hat, because Alaco stepped out of bounds, I believe.
What's the difference there, though, if you step out or if someone shoves you out of bounds?
Yeah, I think that's going to maybe what this comes down to. Let's see what the official tells us. They are still talking about it.
Well, the head referee ran all the way down to where the play occurred. That's why I was asking if it wasn't as obvious. But then after, I guess it was 4 officials met, then they did signal incomplete.
It's incomplete, no penalty. So 3rd down 8. Jesuits staying aggressive. Great return on the kickoff by Robert Fitzgerald. Jesuit trying to go back up. We're tied at 7, 6:53 to go in the first quarter. Tom Walsh, Jack Fitzsimmons, Chris Martinez. Play action. Back to pass. Holman over the middle for Alaka. There's a flag. There's a flag. The coverage was by Michael Ayers. He got his left hand to make a good play, Jack, but he must have had that right hand on Alako, and it's going to be either a hold or pass interference.
That's what happens, Tom. I think you're right. He went ahead and had that left arm up, but you get the right one on his hip and spin him around a little bit, and the back judge was probably less than 10 yards away and no one in between him. He made the call.
Jack, our friends Ben and Melissa Boyd in Las Vegas tonight, they're watching and listening at JesuitRangers.org. They're saying they're loving it. We're getting a lot of good comments from people enjoying the video and audio feed, so thanks to Brian Montgomery, our sports information director, for setting that up. Jesuit gets 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line. They'll place it at the 7. Taylor in the backfield with Holman. E.J. Smith in the slot to the left. Now E.J. will come up and stand to the left of Holman. There's the snap. They hand the ball to E.J., and he is hit at the line of scrimmage and brought down at about the 5-yard line where it'll be 2nd down goal.
Lakeview Centennial very tough there between the tackles. Thought that maybe E.J. coming in motion might help a little bit with the play, but Centennial was there to make the stop.
Alako and Cook to the right side. Handoff. Jake Taylor gets around the corner, but they shut the door very quickly. Great pursuit. I thought Taylor had a chance to take that one to the house, but Victor Smith came over and took him down.
Wow, just so close, Jake. When from this angle, we've got a great angle from up the press box here. I just saw that second of daylight, and we're hoping for the best, but just couldn't make it around that corner. Smith, wow, he was very quick to the ball there.
He was indeed. So 3rd down goal for Jesuit at the 6-yard line of Lakeview Centennial. Smith in motion. Holman rolling right, throwing in the end zone. Caught! E.J. Smith, his 2nd touchdown of the night. His first one on the ground, this one in the air. Broken hand, no broken hand, didn't matter. Leaping grab by E.J. Smith from 6 yards from Rance Holman.
And they ran him across the field, and it was a good play there. And that was nice to get him across the formation. Rance was patient on the rollout and then just hit him with a nice pass.
What a beautiful throw. But E.J. Smith went up and got it. There's a flag down as the Core 5 Industrial Partners John Linebaugh extra point is good. Offsides on Lakeview Centennial. It's going to be declined, and Jesuit goes up 14-7. So, Jack, I'm going to go back to your comment a moment ago. Could we have another barn burner? Both offenses starting to get on track.
It's hard to say we're going to have another 79-55, but holy cow, we're only a little bit over halfway in the first quarter. Jesuit 14, Lakeview Centennial 7. There's 5:37 left, and we've had plenty of fireworks so far.
Very, very, very exciting offensive football. But remember, that was Robert Fitzgerald on a great kickoff return to set Jesuit up in great field position. And, Jack, I know that St. Vincent de Paul is one of our scoring drive summary sponsors.
Well, let's see what they have to say about that. That was a 5-play drive, 23 yards after that great kickoff return, as you mentioned. It took 1 minute, 58 seconds. E.J. Smith with a 7-yard catch, his 6th reception, TD reception of the year, 18th overall. Rance Holman's 19th touchdown pass.
19th touchdown pass. And now it's Parker Brown coming on to kick it off from the 40-yard line again. He's kicking it over toward Garrett Burke, who will take it at the 19-yard line, right to the 30, up to the 35, near the 40, still on his feet to the 45 and to about the 47-yard line. Garrett Burke, I know we're trying to keep it away from Kamar Wheaton, but he's lanky, he's got good speed, and he looks like he can get down the field very quickly. So
we might need to keep it away from Garrett Berg is what it looks like, because he's done a good job. Now, listen, that wasn't as good of run back as Robert Fitzgerald had for the Jesuit Rangers, but that was a darn good one.
Yeah, but they're going to actually say he was down at the 46-yard line. So Ed White, the big tight end, split wide to the left side. Caleb Reed in the slot to the left side. Watch Jalen Davis. He's got the touchdown early. They give the ball to Kamar Wheaton, and he's trying to get the edge, and he will barely make the edge. Good job by Mitchell Campbell to force him out of bounds after a really no gain, Jack. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Wow, the senior Mitchell Campbell committing there. He knew he had to put on the jets to stop Kamar Wheaton from making that turn up the sidelines, and he was able to do it. Coach Hickman standing right there gave Mitchell a nice pat. He was happy with that play.
Yeah, they're clearly trying to dedicate one, if not two, players to watching number 4. So Wheaton now goes in motion. He goes up from the slot. 2nd down. They swing it out. Ball's in the air, and it's incomplete. It went off the fingertips of Jalen Davis. But that's one, Jack, a little tip drill. Even if it came off the offensive hands, no one in the area, though, to try to bring it in.
You know, Tom, I don't know if they were listening to the pregame show. You talked about the Legacy Texas pregame show, and you mentioned our good friend Scott Cortez. Well, he's listening with his wonderful wife, Mary, rooting on the Rangers.
Oh, there's two of my favorite people, Mary Cortez and Scott Cortez. Great to hear from them. 3rd down, 10 for Lakeview Centennial. After this good field position, see if the Rangers can get another 3 and out. Back to pass Adams. He looks over the middle, and his ball is thrown and is well short of Jalen Davis. Good rush over there. Peter Melly, Austin Wood, and it's a 3 and out. So they've had the ball 3 times, Jack, has Lakeview Centennial, and they're going to have to punt after 2 3 and outs.
Yeah, that's a very good play. I thought Austin Wood might have been held there. He was really trying to get that corner, and I thought he got yanked down a little bit, but they put enough pressure on the quarterback that the ball fell short.
Esteban Villarreal, who is the punter. He wears number 81. Their kicker is Daniel Figueroa. Villarreal is a senior. His last kick was 36 yards. Back deep to receive this kick, Christian Alaco. Tweet with us, folks. We want to hear from you. We are at Radio Jesuit. Timeout is called on the field with 5:11 to go in the first quarter.
Our friend Paul Waxman, number 57 is the jersey that he usually wears.
Oh, it's so great to have Paul. So hello to Paul. And he does wear number 57. He wears it proudly. So here's the punt. Left-footed kick, very high. Alaco will signal a fair catch at the 20-yard line. Only 34 yards, Jack, but that was really high. And I got to tell you, I think I admire people that can catch a punt like that about as much as anything in sports, because I would never go back there to receive a kick like that. I would be a fair catch machine.
Well, and like a great outfielder, you know, you got to be able to not run in too quickly and have it go over your head or misjudge it. It's a skill, and you have to have that good hand-eye coordination, and obviously Christian Alaco has got it.
Jesuit Ranger football brought to you by WWA Wealth Strategy Group, our presenting sponsor. 14-7 Jesuit. Another possession. Rance Holman will keep it on the fakes the handoff to Heckel, and he keeps it. We saw a lot of running last week by Holman. He gets about 4, maybe 5, Jack, up to the 25.
Yeah, and I like it. I got to tell you, with E.J. Smith and Jake Taylor in the game, you got to mix it up with Rance every once in a while.
2nd down 5. Holman going right, looking for E.J. Smith. Incomplete. Great coverage out there. E.J. had double coverage, but the defensive back got up, and Michael Ayers knocked that one away.
Yeah, Rance Holman has E.J. Smith out on the right side, just on a go pattern down the sidelines, and that was good coverage. They had the corner there, and the safety was over the top for help. 3rd
down 5 for Jesuit at their own 25. Jesuit 14, Lakeview 7, 4:37 to go first quarter. It's been a good one so far. We're just underway, a little over halfway through this first quarter. 2 wide receivers each way. Holman back to pass, looking left. He'll fire for E.J. Smith. Incomplete. On the coverage was Zacchaeus Adams. But for the first time tonight, Jesuit will go 3 and out. And that's a little confidence builder for this Lakeview Centennial Patriot defense, because the first 2 drives, Jesuit pretty much had their way, so now Parker Brown comes on to kick.
Well, in baseball, I think sometimes people underestimate that throw from third base all the way over to first. Well, that was a throw from the right hash all the way to the left sideline. That's a long way, and Rance and EJ just not able to convert there.
And Parker Brown will be kicking to Garrett Burke, who stands at his own 40-yard line. Parker's kick is going to bounce at about the 49-yard line, take a Jesuit bounce inside the 40. That'll actually be a pretty nice kick after the numbers to the 35-yard line. 40 yards, no return. He got a good 9.5 yards on the bounce there, Jack, and 4:19 to go, 14-7. So a lot of scoring early. Now both teams, these last two drives, settling down, forcing 3 and outs in the punt.
Tom, you're the one who always talks about over the years, and certainly I support it, the good kickers that we've had at Jesuit. And we've just had so many. Well, I think Parker Brown has firmly put himself in that group. He's 38 of 39 at point after attempts this year and 7 of 8 with field goal attempts. And so punting's done a good job. He's had a great year.
1st and 10, handoff to Kamar Wheaton. And he's going to get some positive yardage just by putting his head down and getting up near the 40-yard line. He picked up about 5. Jack, I was on the field before the game, and Parker Brown was kicking into the north end zone. And both Liam McColgan and I commented to each other, I've never seen, he kicks the ball a mile high and he kicks it deep.
Yeah, like we said, I mean, we're lucky to have these talented kickers. You know, special teams mean so much. Look at the game tonight. You know, the Rangers have done a good job on special teams, and we've had a big run back from Robert Fitzgerald, and that's going to make the difference over the course of a game.
2nd down 5. They fake it to Wheaton, then they throw a little option. He tries to get around the right side in the corner, and he does. He has a 1st down. Jalen Spicer forced him out of bounds at about the 49-yard line.
That was a nice little play. You know, it looked like they were going to go and run the ball left, but quarterback spun around and then pitched the ball to Kamar Wheaton, and he was out there just with 1 or 2 Jesuit defenders, and so I like that execution there.
The great Jack Skenyon watching and listening from Rhode Island tonight. It was so great to have Jack with us last week. Now he's back home watching and enjoying this one. So on 1st down, the ball is thrown. Jalen Davis, he breaks the tackle and he gets knocked out of bounds by Jack Barton, but not before he gets to the 34-yard line. So Jalen Davis looks to be the big threat at the receiver so far.
Hey, that was fun with Jack last week, wasn't it, Jack Skenyon? Jack, I want you to know I looked down the press box a couple times and kind of was expecting to see you sitting in that chair like we did last week. Sad you're not there, but glad you're listening again.
Yeah, so we had so much fun with him. He comes down every year. So, Jack, that big play is going to be nullified by an illegal lineman downfield. And that ball was thrown so quick, I think that what must have happened is the tight end must have been covered up and went out in the pattern because, I mean, that was a quick throw for a lineman to get down.
There wasn't much time to do it.
Yes, I think the tight end must have been covered up. So 1st down and 15 as the ball goes back to the 44-yard line. So that's good news for the Jesuit Rangers. And there is a flag down of delay of game. So, before the flag is thrown, Lakeview Centennial took a timeout. So staff, and it's 2nd down 15 at the 44-yard line. Let's see what they dial up. 2 wide receivers each way in stack formation. They're going to try to throw a little screen pass to Kamar Wheaton, and it goes incomplete. He never had the ball. I'll tell you what, Jack, there was about 4 jerseys keying on number 4. Probably worked out better for Lakeview Centennial that he couldn't break the catch. It would have been a big loss.
Yeah, that was such a good play by the Ranger defense that's something that you could tell was scouted out, and everybody was in the right position because there was no way to run. I agree with you, Tom. It's probably a good thing that it was an incomplete pass.
So Kamar Wheaton, the number 1 running back in the country, number 2 overall player in Texas, according to the latest scouting reports as a junior. He split to the left side. 2 other wide receivers to the left. Back to pass, Jared Adams. He steps up. Under pressure, he's going to run. He's got Jalen Davis at midfield, and Davis is going to fall down at the 43-yard line, 44-yard line. If he stays on his feet, it's a 1st down. But he can't stay on his feet. It's going to be 4th and 3, and it looks like Lakeview Centennial is going to go for it.
Yeah, that was a smart play. You know, just taking your time, not trying to do too much till someone broke open. and he was able to hit him right there.
Jared Adams thought about running it, but then saw Jalen Davis. So Wheaton's in the backfield with him. Don Wood, the defensive coordinator, is trying to, I thought, get a timeout. Nope, he's just making some other signals there on the sideline. So 4th and 3, big play here early. Now looks like we're going to have a little quick kick. And the ball is kicked right into the line. He never got it over the line. It hit someone. They fell on it, and it's going to be Jesuit ball at the 47-yard line. So Jared Adams just looked like it went off the end of his foot, Jack, and he just never got any elevation on that one. So the quick kick does not come through.
You know, it'll be interesting to see that when it was sure fun to watch on the live stream, because it looked like he was a little bit too close to the line of scrimmage, and that's why it happened. Usually the quarterbacks who do the quick kicks, are usually a few yards farther back.
Yeah, he was not very far back. So 1st and 10, Jesuit, great field position at their own 47-yard line. They hand it off DJ Smith. Oh, what a cut to the outside. Here's a flag that comes down. I think that's going to be on the defense, maybe a horse collar at the 42 or a face mask. So I think we'll have some yardage tacked onto this one as we await the penalty. Jack, you know, Temple is playing Longview tonight. Longview's 10-0, a likely second-round opponent. Chris Zink tells us, our Twitters are, it's Temple 7, Longview 6 early.
Wow, they're so highly thought of. I'm sure Temple is a very fine program as well, but you got to have your hands full. Longview is extremely highly rated.
Yeah, the Lobos from Longview, the Temple Wildcats, down just on the other side of Waco. They've had a state championship back in the 80s when a guy named Kenneth Davis was their star running back before he went on to play for Jim Wacker at TCU. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line of Lakeview Centennial. The penalty flag was picked up and waved off, but Jesuit still got the first down on the E.J. Smith run. Taylor and Smith in the backfield. Alaco now comes across the formation in motion to the far side with Wyatt Garrett. They hand the ball off to E.J. Smith again, and look at him lower the shoulder and get some positive yardage down to about the 37-yard line.
Yeah, that time E.J.'s smart enough to know there wasn't a lot of room, and so he just decided to go through that defensive player and was able to move him back 3 or 4 yards.
2nd down 5 on the E.J. Smith run. Alaco and Cook now to the right side. Wyatt Garrett wide left. Jesuit changing the play. Still 19 seconds on the play clock. Rance Holman so firmly in command of this offense. Good field position. Handoff. Jake Taylor into the secondary, and he's got another Jesuit first down at the 27-yard line.
And Jake's a man who moves at full speed every time, like we've talked about, and so that's a good job moving forward.
Handoff. E.J. Smith just lowers his shoulder, gets about a yard to the 26. Jack, we were talking about the Lobos and the Wildcats. We got a couple of very special people out in Lobo Stadium. Of course, Bob Wunderlich and Coach Don Henley.
Bill Henley.
Bill Henley, excuse me.
He can sing, but not as good as Don.
For a 2nd down and 9. Tell him I just made him a former Eagle. As Taylor goes in motion. Their ball is thrown and almost picked off. Oh, my. They were trying to hit. I think that was Alaco, but a nice play over there by Michael Ayers.
Well, that's a favorite play of the Rangers, too, that jailbreak screen to the outside. And obviously, like we talked a few minutes ago, how the Rangers had a nice screen pass for Lakeview Centennial scouted out. Same thing there. Centennial was all over that play.
3rd down and 9. Jesuit at about the 26-yard line. 55 seconds to go in the first quarter. Holman in the gun, back to pass, looking right, winds up and throws. Ball thrown to E.J. Smith. It goes incomplete. On the coverage was Ja'Cory Tarver, but E.J. is not able to bring it in, and now it's going to be 4th down and 9, Jack, and I think they may be just beyond their comfort zone for the field goal.
Yeah, it's going to be close, and, Coach sometimes likes to look for those opportunities to go for it anyway, and so we'll have to see what happens here as they're talking about on the sideline. Still 22 seconds left on the play clock. Tonight, Rance Holman, our steady quarterback, 1 for 7. And so it's been a tough night for him so far. We know he'll rebound.
And it looks like the Rangers are going to bring out Parker Brown for what will be a 43-yard Field goal effort. Naughton is the holder. It's going to be just inside the right hash. And timeout is called by Brandon Hickman. He wants to talk about it. It'll be a quick timeout with 48.1 seconds. We'll let Tiara Denman back in the KAAM studio know that we're going to keep it here. Wow, Jack, this is a big call. Parker Brown clearly does have the leg from 43. I just thought perhaps, the Rangers, not a for sure thing, but we saw Parker kicking it from this distance early in the pregame. He's got plenty of leg.
I think he's got plenty. There's not much wind right now at this point in the ball game, and so, Coach feels like that's the percentage play as opposed to going for it on 4th and 9. Tom, let's talk a little bit about the Catholic Foundation.
Well, the Catholic Foundation does so much for our Jesuit community. Since 2018, the Catholic Foundation has provided $1.7 million in tuition assistance and scholarship grants to 75 different schools, including Jesuit Dallas, enabling students from kindergarten to college to receive a college education. In 2018, the Jesuit Dallas received $7,400 in tuition assistance. Together, we are the Catholic Foundation. Here comes the 43-yard field goal. The ball is down from Naughton. The kick is up from Brown, and it is good from 43 yards, and Jesuits up 17-7. Let's let Tiara Denman know. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, Jesuit kicking off. First quarter action, 17-7 Jesuit.
Football headquarters.
Good news, and we'll back up this team. What looks to be an offensive penalty on the kick return.
Let's go ahead and give that scoring summary brought to you by the Ronald McDonald House. 7 plays, 27 yards, a minute, 41 seconds. That was a 43-yard field goal by junior Parker Brown. It's Jesuit 17, Lakeview Centennial 7.
Jack, we just had Tiffany Jones and Jennifer Paisley come into the booth. And, of course, we've worked with Jennifer for many years at KAAM. She's in charge of their operations over there, and it's great to see them over here supporting the Rangers.
It's funny because I've known Tiffany for years and years because of her sons that have graduated and now one that's at Jesuit. But Jennifer, I've just seen her name on emails about 50 times, and there she was standing in the booth. It was good to meet her.
No, it was certainly good. So 1st and 10 as the ball is taken back to the 12-yard line. So Lakeview Centennial, after penalty, will start deep in their own territory. Hand off to Kamar Wheaton. So, Jack, we talked about it early as a gain of about 2. Kamar Wheaton had 450 yards against Jesuit 2 years ago. They're determined not to let that happen again. So far, 3 carries, 6 carries for 28 yards. So 2nd down, we'll call it 7 as the ball goes up near the 15-yard line, and they will not get another playoff here as the first quarter comes to an end. Let's take a break. When we come back, second quarter action at 17-7 Jesuit. To learn more about what Dr. Trevor Bonilla can do for you, please go to rockwallorthodontics.com or idealorthodontics.com.
Jesuit Ranger.
Good play, Tommy Roy, Jack Barton. So it's going to be 3rd down and 7, Jack, as Kamar Wheaton, the Rangers are determined. They're going to tell Jared Adams he's going to have to beat him with some other weapon other than Kamar Wheaton.
Well, it was an exciting first quarter, Tom. Jesuit up 17-7. We did kid about the fact that we thought this was going to be a game that had a lot of running and the clock would go flying. It hasn't been that way so far.
No, it has not. 3rd down 7. Jared Adams, play action, swings it out. Ball caught, 21-yard line, short of a first down. Looked like Jalen Spicer, Ford Buckner, Robert Fitzgerald all in on the play. Zachariah Dunstan made the reception, just a sophomore, and it is going to be a first down out at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to Jesuit calling a timeout because coach is really unhappy with the spot there. They felt it was far from the first down and wanted a chance to talk to the official.
Yeah, I thought it was short, Jack. Remember, I said it was not going to be a first down. But they moved the sticks. I did not think it was going to be a first down, did you?
I didn't even consider it.
Yeah. So you're right. Brandon Hickman not happy with the spot. I want to thank Brian Montgomery and all the young men who are here making this video and audio production possible. You can hear us and watch us tonight. 770 KAAM, the audio and video and audio on your computer on the World Wide Web at JesuitRangers.org. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. Brandon Hickman makes his case, but the officials say, nope, it's going to remain first down. So the ball will be on the right hash. How about the stat Chris Martinez just gave us, Jack, about E.J. Smith, 81 yards rushing in the first quarter alone and 2 touchdowns.
Very impressive.
1st and 10, play action. Jared Adams will swing it out. Man just caught the ball a minute ago, trying to get things a little spread out, as that is Zachariah Dunston again, the sophomore, and he picks up what very close to a first down. Let's see where they spot it. Now they're going to say it's a first down up at the 32-yard line.
I think those young kids are having a good time. You can see them in the gold helmets there, the freshmen and sophomores who their seasons are complete, and they're out here working out with the varsity. I bet they're having a blast on the sidelines.
Oh, yeah, they're having a great time. This is what, when you're a football player, you're dreaming about being on that sideline. You're dreaming about getting on that beautiful field here at Postell Stadium. And tonight, part of that dream coming to fruition for all the junior varsity and freshman players. Handoff, Kamar Wheaton. Not much running room there. Again, runs into a Jesuit Ranger, Rick Wall. Austin Wood made the tackle. It'll be a gain of 1.
Brian Montgomery, Jesuit Sports Information Director, tells us that Mike Norris and Christian Markey listening tonight, or filming tonight, excuse me, not listening. They're the ones who are doing the filming.
Yep, it's we really appreciate Mike and Christian. They're doing a great job. Longview's gone up on Temple 13-7 out in Longview, Texas. 2nd down 9, back to pass. Quick throw, and the ball's caught out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Quick throw and catch from Jared Adams to Caleb Reed, but it's going to be 3rd down. You know, Jared Adams, as I watch him, he's got a good arm, Jack, but he kind of has a short, he doesn't really rear back. I mean, he's got a short, rear back, as he pulls the arm back before the throw.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, and he's delivering it, though. Those are some nice, safe passes. We'll see what happens here. Lakeview Centennial trying to find their rhythm a little bit. They started this drive deep in their own territory, moving forward, but a big play on 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5. Thank you for being with us tonight. Wheaton goes in motion. They'll throw the ball, then the tight end dropped it. That's Ed White, the senior tight end and wide receiver. He's got good size, not able to bring it in. It was thrown just a little bit behind him. That's going to bring Lakeview Centennial to 1 for 5 on 3rd down tonight, so 20%. They were 1 for 4. Had a chance to convert that one, Jack, and this is their 4th punt already tonight.
Yeah, the ball was thrown a little bit behind White there, but you're right. I think he really feels that he should have had it, and that could have been a solid chance for a first down, but it's not, so the Centennial Patriots are going to kick.
And there is the kick, and it's going to – the Laco's going to let it drop. It's going to take a Lakeview Centennial bounce. Let's see where the official marks it out of bounds. Looks like it's going to be at about the 28-yard line. 34 yards, no return.
Well, he does kick the ball so high, it's going to be hard to have a chance for a return. I think Christian was just like, you know what, there's a lot of bodies around here. I got to move to my right there, and he just said, hey, we're going to let this one bounce and take the ball where we can find it.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Jesuit. 9:41 to go here in the second quarter. Ball's on their own 28-yard line. Jesuit up 17-7. Rance Holman has 3 wide receivers left. Ball is dropped. He picks it up. Flags everywhere. He's going to try to just stay up and get something positive at it. It's going to be thrown to the ground at about the 30-yard line. Now, they never called the play dead, Jack, so I would think that would be on the defense. And Jesuit may get 5 yards nonetheless.
I apologize. I said a minute ago that there was guys having fun on the sidelines, the freshmen and the sophomores who decided to suit out. One of the members of the coaching staff quickly corrected me and said there are no freshmen that are suited out. So I apologize. I guess I was thinking back of what was going on many years ago. But we do have some JV guys down there. Hopefully they're having a good time.
Yeah, I was right there with you, Jack. There's the handoff. Actually, play action, or they fake the handoff, no play action. Holman just keeps it. And he's going to get up to about the 37-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and about 1. And we'll let Tiara know that after this play, we're paused for station identification with 9:14 to go in the second quarter. Jesuit has 2nd down 1 at their own 37. Up 17-7. They hand the ball off. And Jake Taylor will have what appears to be a first down at the 38-yard line. Let's pause for station identification. Left, that's Garrett looking deep, right side for Alaco, and it's almost picked off. Good coverage over there by Michael Ayers. I say almost picked off. He had the better shot at it, but that was going to be a difficult catch. It goes incomplete.
Yeah, a little bumping going on along the sidelines, but both of them kind of evenly going for the football, so no flag from the referee. Rangers again trying to air it out a little bit.
Second down, 10. Jesuit their own 38-yard line. 8:35 to go in the first half. They hand the ball off to Taylor. Gets a big block. Has a big hole. 50, 40. Tries to cut it right and is taken down at the 30-yard line. Good open field tackle by Gavin Harris. That was a huge hole by that Jesuit offensive line. There is a penalty marker down. It's a 32-yard carry. There was a big hole, Jack. Let's see what the call is from the officials.
Well, people are moving. They're looking like they're staying back there. We'll see what they're saying, but Christian Alaco, for one, is staying way back. I guess he's getting some instruction from the coaches.
Yeah, it looked like he was thinking it was going to be against Jesuit. That was a huge hole, and perhaps there was a hold on the play. So 32 yards about to be nullified on the penalty. Let's see what the official calls. I would think you would be holding, Jack.
It's got to be. I've been looking for the flag. I'm looking for a signal. There's a lot of talking going on.
Yeah, they have not made a signal yet. It's now 20-7, Longview over Temple. It was 7-6 just a moment ago. That game is in Longview. Still talking about it.
Maybe that's why the game's kind of slow.
8:26 to go in the first half. Hope you're enjoying this one here on a cool night, 51 degrees, but no wind. Only 46% humidity. We had some cold days, though, earlier this week, didn't we, Coach?
Oh, absolutely. Man, in the morning, it was freezing getting out there. And, it's just been up and down. And I think we're going to have some days that are in the 70s this week, so I'm glad the cold front is passing. But a lot of sniffling and coughing going on at school this week.
I couldn't quite see what the signal was. It's a 15-yard penalty. I thought they made an unsportsmanlike conduct call. And that's going to be a 15-yard penalty, so that's going to bring up a second down and 25. They want to reset the clock. Holman's trying to get a new set of 25 seconds. And they should. The official saying wind the clock. 8:06. And Coach Hickman wants to take a timeout. I think he wants to say, why did our 25-second clock start so soon before we got the penalty called? Jesuit calls timeout, 8:03 to go. So Holman will have E.J. Smith split wide to the left side. Looks like single coverage over there. Brian Jones, single coverage on E.J. I wouldn't be surprised, Jack, to see Jesuit go up top. Now maybe some safety help coming over on E.J. They hand the ball off to Jake Taylor, and he was just absolutely crushed. What a great open field tackle after a short gain. That was Caleb Jones, the senior.
And Jake's always running hard, but he ran into a big guy that was running just as hard there.
Third down, 22 from their own 26. Chris Zink, our Twitter czar, tells us McKinney up 7-0 over Naaman Forest. So that's another bi-district game going on right here between these two districts. Rance Holman gets the snap, back to pass, firing deep, looking for E.J. Smith, and it's incomplete. Great coverage by Brian Jones, who had his hands on it for a moment, and it goes incomplete, and the penalty certainly comes back to haunt the Rangers. Jack, I know we're on radio. You look very dapper tonight. You got the tie. You still have you're working up until you came over here to work, but you're looking good. I wish we had some TV cameras on you.
I appreciate that. I wish I was looking a lot more sloppy. I was in my office at about 6:17 when we went on the air at about 6:30 tonight. So just a busy time at Jesuit College Prep.
Garrett Burke back to receive this Parker Brown kick. There is the kick. It's going to be over toward the left side. It's going to drop and take a Jesuit bounce again. Garrett Burke gets out of the way, and it's going to be down at the 30-yard line, 44 yards, no return. So Parker does a nice job, Jack, of kind of directionally kicking it and getting those rolls.
You know, it was half the field there, Tom. You know, you talked about the fact that unsportsmanlike penalty really hurt us, but it came on the heels of a 33-yard run by Jake Taylor. So, wow, that was tremendously unfortunate for Jesuit.
Prosper 14, Wiley 0. Prosper 14, Wiley 0 in the big school 6A division. I love saying big school, small school. They're all 6A. They're all pretty darn big schools in both of the 6A as they split them up into the playoffs. Handoff to Kamar Wheaton. Tries to get around the corner. He does. He'll have some positive yardage up to about the 36-yard line. You can see he's just one of those players, Jack, that runs with such fluidity, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. You can just tell if he gets a chance to have, you know, any room at all, he's off and running. I mean, he looks great. Looks like he's got great speed and a very strong young man.
Jack, talking about my favorite Wonderlic, Jesuit Ranger football, presented by WWA Wealth Strategy Group. Kathleen Wonderlic, one of those partners. Handoff, Kamar Wheaton, again, left side. He'll have a first down and steps out of bounds just at the sticks up at the 40-yard line. But they will get a new set of downs with 6:32 to go in the first half. I just felt like Jesuit's been in control of this one, Jack. They got a 10-point lead, but I'm still a little bit uneasy.
Yeah, well, and not just uneasy about the way Jesuit's playing or that Lakeview's playing. It's just kind of not a smooth ball game. I thought last week seemed a little bit smoother. A lot of stops and starts tonight, a lot of stoppage of the clock.
3 wide receivers to the right. Kamar Wheaton now goes in motion to the left. He's got Mitchell Campbell guarding him, and the ball is thrown. Diving effort. That's Ed White again. Second time Ed's got his hands on the ball. That would have been a very difficult catch. See how Campbell had to pick up Kamar Wheaton coming out? That was the wheel route, and I thought Mitchell did a nice job. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yes, it was. That's very good on your part. Chase Walker had a good chance to get that ball, too, to be honest.
Yeah, he sure did. Jack, one more score from Chris Zink. Our Twitters are Allen all over Saxe, 38-3.
Wow.
That'll just tell you the depth of this district that we're playing. And right now, every team from our district is winning in their bi-district matchup. All 4 teams. Back to pass. Adams looking deep, trying to hit. There's a flag down. Wow. That's a tough call. They were trying to hit Jalen Davis. Robert Fitzgerald was running with him. I think Robert had his hand on his jersey, and they're going to call a hold.
Yeah.
That ball was well underthrown, but he did have his hand on the jersey, I thought. But it's a tough call.
It is a tough call, and it was almost like it was resting on his hip a little bit. It didn't look like it really hindered the receiver from getting where he wanted to go. And I kind of stared at the back judge to see if he would be the one to throw it, but he didn't. It was the field judge on that side.
Yeah, and he kind of had that back view. Maybe the back judge just couldn't see the hand, but that ball was so underthrown. No chance it was going to be completed, and I didn't see any hindrance coming back. So 1st and 10. They hand the ball off to Kamar Wheaton. He tries to get some blocks, but he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 49-yard line. Tommy Roy in the area, and it's going to be 2nd down 11.
You know, did you see that there's an extra official here tonight?
I did for the playoffs,
yeah,
Jack.
There's 7. And you know what? As an old basketball coach, you know, back in the day we only used to have 2 officials. Of course, I coached many years when we had 3. But when we had 2 officials, sometimes they would have 3 for the playoffs, and I didn't like that. I didn't like it when they changed it after you've been playing a certain way all year.
Yeah, I know. Jared Adams fires it. Ball thrown. Did he keep his hands on it? No. That would have been a very tough catch for Caleb Reed, Jack Barton, and I think that Cooper Manning also went on the play.
You know what I'm talking about? I mean, it's not like I want them to enforce the rules, but when you're having an extra set of eyes in different places that they usually aren't, it just kind of changes the game a little bit. I'm not sure there would have been a referee in that point where that flag was thrown a minute ago. That's why I'm bringing it up.
I think it's a good point, Jack. 3rd down and 11 from the 49-yard line. So Jesuit trying to get this Lakeview Centennial team off the field. There's a draw play to Kamar Wheaton. He breaks one tackle, breaks it up inside the 50-yard line to the 46-yard line, but still well short of a first down. It'll be 4th and 6. So do you punt? I think you do. You're down 10. I think you're still way too premature to go for it here, Jack. What do you think?
Well, and remember the last time that they acted like they weren't going to kick and did the quick kick, we were talking about the fact that we thought that the Centennial player looked like he was a little bit too close to the line. It's the same guy that's there now, and the Rangers were able to come in and block the kick.
4th and 6. He's going to go back to the quick kick again. He gets it up, and I think it may have hit someone's back again. He's just not getting enough room to get that ball over the line of scrimmage cleanly, I think. So it goes down to the 25-yard line. So that is a 21-yard kick. No return. Jesuit will take that. Jack, check this out. Tommy Bond from the Jesuit class of 1974 is watching and listening to tonight's game internationally from Manila in the Philippines.
Wow, Tommy Bond, what a good player he was, and then went to the Naval Academy and known him for a long time. That's really cool to hear that.
So there's the snap as the Jesuit goes back on offense. They hand the ball off to E.J. Smith. He gets up to about the 27-yard line, gained 1 on the play. Jack, we're getting all kinds of people telling us they're out there listening tonight on Twitter at Radio Jesuit.
Yeah, John Skurhawk, the great John Skurhawk from the class of 96 with his family at home tonight. Keep it up with the Rangers.
2nd down, 8 for Jesuit. They hand the ball off to E.J. Smith again. He tries to go right, then cuts it back. He's up near the 30, just short of the 30. It's going to be 3rd and long. So 3rd down and about 6 for Jesuit. They're going to go tempo here, Jack.
Trying to get something going. I think they just feel like they're just not in the flow like they would like to be offensively so far tonight, even with a nice 17-7 lead.
Yep, you're right. Wyatt Garrett is wide to the left. E.J. Smith's in the slot to the left side. Alaco wide right. Jake Taylor's in the backfield with Holman. There's the snap. He's looking right. He fires. Ball caught. He'll fall down, but he falls forward. Charlie Cook for the 1st down.
Rance Holman's pass is complete to Charlie Cook.
And that, Chris tells us that's only the 2nd completion tonight for Rance Holman. That's a surprise.
Yeah, that is a surprise. 1st and 10. They blow the play dead. Was there a flag? I didn't see if a timeout was called.
I see coaches on the other side of the field for Lakeview Centennial running out a little bit, but I don't think it was a timeout. Maybe it was. There's something they didn't like over there because it kind of doesn't look like a timeout and it doesn't look like there was a penalty.
No, I think that perhaps they didn't let the chains get set or something, or maybe not get a sub in. I don't know what exactly happened. No indication from the officials. 3:34 to go in the first half. Jesuit up 10, 17-7. They're back on offense at their own 38-yard line, 1st and 10. Rangers hand it off to Taylor. He'll cut it up. Nice positive yardage to about the 41-yard line. There's a bunch of Patriots in on the play. Ja'Cory Tarver was one that was, I think, slinging him to the ground. He picked up about 4.
Into the game for the Rangers is E.J. Smith coming in a receiver. Wyatt Garrett goes out.
2nd down, 6. At their own 42-yard line. Jesuit trying to extend this lead from 17-7. They'll hand that one off to Kyle Heckel. Nice run by Kyle. He'll be short of a 1st down up to the 46-yard line. 3rd and about 2 upcoming.
Matthew Craycraft in the game as well, number 72 for the Jesuit Rangers. Big sophomore offensive lineman.
Yeah, he does a nice job. 3rd and 2. They hand the ball off to Heckel. And he'll have a 1st down as he bursts through that offensive line and gets into Patriot territory to the 43-yard line.
Kyle's not a big guy. I kind of lost him for a little bit there, and then, there he was all of a sudden running out of the pile for a 1st down.
So 2:20 to go in the first half. Jesuits up 17-7. Ball's at the 43-yard line, right side, and now we have someone signaling for a timeout, and Jesuit does. So that was a nice run. You were just making the comment about Kyle Heckel, and I lost him too, Jack. He just kind of exploded through. That was an 11-yard run. So, Jack, how big would some more points be right here? You're up 17-7. I talked about being a little uneasy, even though we're up 10. I'd feel a lot better going in at the half up 17.
Oh, that's for sure. And, the Rangers, as you said earlier, I liked your comment, seem like they're really in control of this game, but it's just not been a smooth one, like I said. So I'd like to see them have a nice score before the half.
It would be great. Jack joined in the booth by my eldest daughter, Mary Beth Walsh. We're going down tomorrow to Waco to watch OU and Baylor battle it out for the Big 12 lead.
Do you think it was okay with her to announce on the radio where she's going to be tomorrow? She might want to keep that a secret.
No. She wants me to tell all. So 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. All about our sports. We love going on sports together, sports trips. So 1st and 10. There's the snap. Play action to EJ. Back to pass. Holman under pressure. He'll scramble. What a good runner. He'll have a first down to the 32-yard line. Rance Holman with a great quarterback scramble.
Yeah, that wasn't a designed run like we've seen from Rance in the last game, but he did a good job of scrambling there.
1:53 clock running as they reset the chains. Ball's on the left hash. They hand the ball off to Heckle. No gain on the play.
Well, that time Kyle didn't have any place to run. We complimented him. Excuse me.
I apologize. That was Jake Taylor.
Well, Jake didn't have a place to run then because, again, we're talking about our quick Jesuit running backs with some big linemen for Lakeview Centennial and just weren't able to burst free there.
9th play of the drive for Jesuit. Rolling right, Holman fires over the middle, incomplete. Looking for E.J. Smith, who was in a soft spot in the zone, but Holman was on the run. Difficult throw, and now it's going to be 3rd down and long for Jesuit. Jack, it would be a 49-yard field goal try from here. We did see a 43-yard kick tonight. Jesuit tonight on 3rd down is 3 for 6, 50%.
The Rangers have gone to E.J. Smith in these situations. Let's maybe see if Coach changed up a bit and goes to Wyatt Garrett.
And they got 2 wide receivers. Oh, and it looked like they're offsides. Now they're going to throw it up to Garrett. Look at that. He would have brought it in. We've talked about him being 6'8". I think that DB that was on him right there is about 5'10". And I loved how Rance got him offsides on the hard count, but there was contact, and that's why they blew it dead.
Yeah, they had to. It wasn't one of those plays where the defense just jumped out offsides and you could take a shot at a play downfield. There was contact there.
I like the 3rd and 5, though, a lot better than 3rd and 10. 6'8" Wyatt Garrett will be wide to the left side. Alaco wide right. Charlie Cook, who's been so dependable so often this year in the slot. E.J. Smith. Jake Taylor in the backfield. 3rd down 5 from the 27-yard line. 1:12 to go in the first half. Jesuit up 17-7. They're trying to reset the clock to 1:18, I believe. There we go. 1:18 now back on the clock. Coach, what are you dialing up on 3rd and 5?
Well, that's different. On that 3rd and 10, I said maybe we could throw it up to big Wyatt Garrett. Now I think we've got a lot of options, including running the football so that you could see if maybe you wanted to go for it on 4th down.
I'm going to call E.J. Smith's number, I think, right here on 3rd and 5. I know that's consistent with what you were saying, but I'll try to pinpoint where it's going. It looks like, he almost got him again on 3rd and 5 on the hard count, but no contact made. Clock is stopped with 1:18 here in the first half. Jesuit up 10, 17-7 on the left hash. There's the snap. Back to pass. Holman fires it. Alaco, he's got a first down at the 20-yard line. Christian Alaco. Boy, Jack, what was it, about 4 or 5 games ago Alaco started becoming such a big part of this offense?
Yeah, I think he's been part of it all year long, but, you mentioned it a few games ago that he's really become a big part of the offense, very steady, and you were certainly right.
Yeah, 1st and 10. They hand the ball off. Nice play. Jake Taylor breaking tackles. Down at about the 6-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal. I thought he might get pay dirt on that one.
And everybody loved the big move, the little shimmy move he made when he broke into the second level, and they were wanting that touchdown.
53 seconds to go in the first half. They hand the ball off. Jake Taylor for the score. And Jesuit up 23-7. Look at that offensive line, Jack. What a block by Gabe Morales to spring him. And it's going to be a 23-7 lead with 49.6 seconds to go in the first half.
Jake Taylor wanted to make up for that 33-yard run he had, and then there was an unsportsmanlike conduct call against the Rangers, so he was making up the yards there and scored a big touchdown.
Parker Brown is your kicker on the Core 5 Industrial Partners. John Linebaugh, extra point. Connor Naughton, the backup quarterback, is the holder. The kick is up. He splits the uprights. 24-7. Jesuit comfortably out in front now, and a great point made by statistician Chris Martinez. Jesuit will have the ball to start the second half, Jack. And I will tell you, we thought this game was going to be a pretty close game. I think the morning news called it a toss-up, but right now it's been all Jesuit. Other than that one scoring drive by Lakeview Centennial, Jesuit has dominated this one early.
And let's talk about scoring drives. That one for the Rangers is brought to you by Condon Tobin Slatic and Thornton, PLLC. Bill Slatic from the class of 78 and Mike Gavin from 98. It was a 12-play drive, 75 yards. It took 4 minutes and 4 seconds. Jake Taylor, the junior, a 6-yard run, his 6th rushing touchdown of the year, 7th overall.
So the Jesuit will get the ball to start the second half, and they've got to get through these last 49.6 seconds. It's 24-7 Jesuit. They've been kicking it away from Kamar Wheaton all night. But we talked about the fact that Garrett Burke has got some explosiveness, and he's back to receive this kick as well. There's the kick, and Burke is going to take it at the 4-yard line, straight up the field to the 10. Right side of the 15 to 20, stutter steps, and is going to be taken down short of the 20-yard line. Ford Buckner, special teams ace, comes down to make the play. Cy Mendenhall also there, Jack. So now it's going to be 1st and 10 with the ball at the 19-yard line, and Lakeview Centennial has no timeouts remaining.
Yeah, that was great coverage there. You know, we talked about, you said, Garrett
Garrett Burke.
Burke, my bad. And what a good returner he'd been. And that time, you know, I thought, okay, he's got some running room and he's going to go. But the Rangers just stayed in their lanes coming down on kickoff coverage and did a good job.
So it's 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They hand the ball off to Kamar Wheaton. He'll get around the left side. Flags come flying in from the secondary. Normally that's some sort of an offensive penalty. You know, when you have those slow developing plays when they're trying to get around the edge, it seems like that's when they call penalties the most, Jack, and it's always from that back judge. Holding is the call.
You know, things were so slow to develop with our crowd tonight, but now I look out at Postell Stadium and there's a lot of people here up and down the sideline. You know what else is cool? Check out that moon over in the distance on the east side. They're just kind of sitting there on top of those trees.
Yeah,
looks kind of cool on a fall night.
Very close. The moon is big. It's not a full moon tonight. I'd put that at about 4/5. You know what they call that kind of moon?
80%?
I don't know either. So their ball's going to be placed down at the 14-yard line after the penalty. 1st and 15, 36.3 seconds. You know, Lakeview Centennial might want to consider just trying to regroup, get into the locker room with no timeouts. Something conservative as they give the ball to Kamar Wheaton, and the Rangers have him stacked up at the 15-yard line, and that may do it for the first half.
Kamar Wheaton is brought down by
They do not have to snap the ball again.
Second down, Lakeview Centennial.
It'll be 2nd down and 14, and I think, Jack, that's going to do it for the first half. We've got the Wright Firm halftime show. We hope that you'll stay with us for that. Paul Wright and Patrick Wright. They always tweet with us at Radio Jesuit. Our longtime halftime show sponsors, Paul Wright and Patrick Wright from the Jesuit class of 1986. And that'll do it. Jesuit comfortably out in front. They'll receive the ball to start the second half. Jack, your final thoughts before we take a break.
Well, I think that half was a great half for the Rangers, and I think for about the middle of that half, we didn't really realize how good it was when they punctuated the end of the first half with a score. All of a sudden you say, you know what, Jesuit is firmly in control at this point, and we look forward to a good halftime show, and we'll be back for the second half.
All right, with that, we'll let Tiara know that we're going to take our first commercial timeout of the halftime show, brought to you by the Wright Firm. We'll have Jalen Spicer, Jake Taylor back to receive this kick. The right firm halftime show is in the books. And now third quarter action. Taylor takes it the 2-yard line, goes back into the end zone with his momentum, though takes it out to the 10. Look, big hole to the 20, to the 30, to the 35. And a big hit, Jake Taylor. He runs so hard, we say it all the time. Cackled by Ed White, but good field position again, Jack.
And not afraid to throw his body in there. Jake Taylor making a cut towards the middle of the field. He saw some big guys closing in on him, and it doesn't matter. He just barrels right into him and slides for an extra yard or two.
Jesuit will have E.J. Smith in the backfield with Jake Taylor. Wyatt Garrett wide to the left side. They hand the ball off to Taylor. He cuts it up, big hole, out to the 47-yard line. 1st and 10, Jake Taylor. Jack, I love the fact that he's coming back along with Kyle Heckel in the backfield.
Oh, yeah, that's what we always need is some veteran guys because we'll need to replace some good players next year.
Charlie Cook's in the slot to the right side with Alaco right. Ball's on the left hash. They'll hand the ball off to E.J. Smith. He cuts it up. Big explosion to the 30. Foot race to the 20. Cuts it right to the 10. He's going to score for the 3rd time tonight. 53 yards. E.J. Smith does it again. And the Rangers are up 30-7 with 11:21 to go in the 3rd quarter.
All right, well, a good friend of mine, Tom Walsh, said, Jack, we scored here at the end of the first half. Wouldn't it be great if we were able to come back because we deferred the ball to the second half, so we're going to get it again. We march it in, and then we'll have a commanding lead, and you, sir, were correct.
Wow, what a run. That offensive line is dominating tonight, but E.J. Smith has been fantastic. 3 touchdowns. Let's take a break. 11:21 to go in the 3rd quarter. Jesuits up 31-7. We'll be back right after this. But Garnett Burke, the senior, he's a good returner. We've seen a couple of examples of it tonight. Tommy Roy, Jack Barton just to the left of Parker Brown, Mitchell Campbell, Robert Fitzgerald just to his right, Ford Buckner, Cooper Manning also out there, a couple of special teams aces. Cy Mendenhall, the ball's taken at the 7-yard line. Burke, left side to the 20, cuts it up to the 25 to the 29-yard line, and that's where he'll be dropped. So 1st and 10, I think Chris mentioned that the opening average starting field position was right at about the 30-yard line.
Yeah.
28, and they're getting at the 29.
Yeah, right there again. Let's go ahead and give that scoring summary for the Jesuit Rangers, brought to you by St. Vincent de Paul Study Time. 2 plays, 65 yards. It took 39 seconds. Wow. E.J. Smith with a 53-yard run. It's his 19th touchdown of the year.
Big, and 3 of them tonight. After being gone for 2 weeks with the injury, he is back with a flourish. Handoff to Kamar Wheaton. Oh, my goodness. He was taken down after a 10-yard gain by Jack Barton. Jack, he doesn't make that tackle. He may still be running.
Yeah, he's explosive. We know it. That's one of his best runs of the night. The Rangers have been doing a good job of containing him, and they need to continue to do so, or else Lakeview will be back in this one very quickly.
1st and 10 Jesuit at their, 1st and 10 Lakeview Centennial at their own 40-yard line, down 31-7 to Jesuit. A pretty dominating performance so far for the Rangers. 3 wide receivers set to the right. Watch out for Jalen Davis. He's got 1 touchdown tonight. Handoff, Kamar Wheaton. And Jack Barton makes the tackle, but not before Kamar Wheaton picks up about 5 up near the 45.
And they moved here to about, looks like they got, about 2nd and 5, Tom. And the Lakeview, not in a big hurry so far in this half. They're well behind, but want to get a good drive going here, and more important to be organized, I guess, at this point of the game for them than to hurry up and misfire. 2nd
down 5 for Lakeview Centennial. Down 24 to Jesuit. They hand the ball off to Wheaton. Watch out. 40. Left side 35. I think the turf monster brought him down. Good job, I think, by Cooper Manning to keep contained and just keep him. That was the best run of the night, but there is a flag down, and it may be for naught. Let's see what the call is. Sideline warning against Jesuit. So, they always talk about, everybody says this, but the get-back guy, who tells everyone to get back. So now they're going to really have to have the get by working tonight. Another one of those, and it's going to be a penalty on Jesuit. This is a warning.
That's right.
Jack, you can see right there the explosiveness, though, from Kamar Wheaton. That was the first time we've really seen him in the open field tonight. Starting to get a little bit untracked. 1st and 10. Back to pass. Adams, pump fakes, going deep. Has a man out there. Ball is caught for the touchdown. What a catch. And that was Ed White, the tight end / receiver, the senior who came back and made a nice catch. It'll be 31-13. 35 yards for the touchdown.
And, you know, I know we're far away at this point, but I thought the Ranger was the one that was going to be catching the football.
Yeah, I did too. The Rangers defender was right there, but White just did a great job to come back and make that reception. Here's the Core 5 Industrial Partners John Linebaugh extra point. The kick is up. It's good. It's 31-14. So Lakeview Centennial has scored twice tonight on long pass plays. And they answer the opening drive for Jesuit for the score.
You know, earlier when you were talking about Tim W. Robinson, DDS, our post-game sponsor, you were saying you go to Dr. Robinson. I go to Dr. Robinson. My classmate Brian Montgomery does. Who else goes to him?
The great Matt Shoemaker.
Matt Shoemaker, my colleague, and we are proud to announce that Matt and his wife Kristen have a new baby boy that was born this afternoon, Callahan Don Shoemaker. They're going to call him Cal Shoemaker. Cal Shoemaker sounds like a quarterback gunslinger or something.
Yeah,
wow, that sounds good. Congratulations to my colleague in our part of our radio broadcast team.
Yeah, so proud of Matt, and of course he's not the one that did all the work.
Yeah, Kristen did all the work.
Kristen did all the work, but so proud of both of them. We are, coach, hoping for a Jackson or a John Thomas or a Jack Thomas, but
maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Time to kick things back to Jesuit. The kicker is Esteban Villarreal. As the ball goes on the 40-yard line, left-footed kicker. He kicks it away. It's a little squib kick, and it's still rolling around on the turf. Jalen Spicer picks it up at about the 22-yard line, gets around the corner to the 30, cuts it up to the 40, down the left sideline, midfield. Jalen Spicer with a nice return. James Barton brought him down. That's a few good returns, really, of late. He's been, like last week, he had a great return. That's a couple good ones tonight.
And that was a big one last week for sure, and so he's doing it again. Hey, let's talk about that very quick scoring summary for Lakeview Centennial, sponsored by The Bridge, Dallas's homeless center. 4 plays, 71 yards, a minute, 51 seconds. Ed White, a 35-yard touchdown catch, his second of the year. It's 31-14 Jesuit.
My apologies, Jack, as Christian Alaco comes in motion to the near side with Wyatt Garrett. Low snap, picked up. They swing it out to Taylor to the right side. He gets taken down the right sideline, but not before he's picked up some big yardage down to about the 25-yard line. And it was a run because it was a backward pass.
And that took Jake Taylor over 1,000 yards for the season, Chris Martinez tells us.
Well, congratulations to the junior, Jake Taylor, over 1,000 yards. Handoff, Jake Taylor again. Watch out! There he goes! Touchdown! Jake Taylor, he went left, cut it back. Big hole by that offensive line for 25 yards. And the score with 9:07 to go in the third quarter, and Jesuit has answered. The Lakeview Centennial score, it's 37-14.
You know, E.J. Smith on his touchdown run a few minutes ago, right up the middle. Then just now, Jake Taylor, the junior, right up the middle with a burst to the end zone.
Here comes the Core 5 Industrial Partners, John Linebaugh, extra point, not in the holder. Laying the snapper. And the kicker. He does something there. Parker Brown, he has to put it through the uprights, and he does. And it's 38-14 with 9:07 to go. Jack, we hope this game will be over by midnight. It's going at a snail's pace. It's a lot of big plays, but not a lot of time coming off the clock.
It is, and it's a little bit reminiscent of the first quarter where we had a lot of action right off the the bad, and Jesuit scored twice, and Lakeview Centennial scored once. That's the same thing that's happened here in the third quarter. But then things slowed down considerably in that first half till right at the end when the Rangers had another score. We'll see what happens this time.
So 38-14 is your score. You talked about Tim W. Robinson, DDS. Of course, he's our post-game show sponsor. He's your dentist and my dentist. He does so much for the Jesuit community. Had 2 daughters, went to Ursuline. 3 daughters that went to Ursuline. Just a wonderful, wonderful guy. Please go see Tim W. Robinson, DDS. Tell him Tom Walsh, Jack Fitzsimmons, the new dad, Matt Shoemaker, and Brian Montgomery sent you. 38-14, Parker Brown ready to kick things back to Lakeview Centennial. It was Jesuit back out in front by 24 again. Burke will take it at the 11-yard line. Mitchell Campbell with great coverage down the field. He really strung him out. He's dropped at about the 20-yard line. Ford Buckner, the first Ranger to get him. Major Kent as well, but really I think that was Mitchell Campbell that forced that play.
Well, and Major Kent did a good job because Kamar Wheaton was trying to block him on the lead, and he was able to fight him off, and then Mitchell came in and made that play. Tom, that scoring sponsor brought to you by Condon, Tomid, Sladek, and Thornton. It was 2 plays, 47 yards, 23 seconds. Jake Taylor, a 25-yard run. His second touchdown tonight, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year, 8th overall. It's 38-14 Jesuit.
Yeah, just Jesuit's so fortunate with 3 great running backs. We know E.J. Smith, of course, one of the most highly sought-after recruits in the country. He's a senior. As there's a penalty right now on Lakeview Centennial. That's their 7th penalty of the night. Then Jake Taylor, who was a starter much of last year as a sophomore, so we knew he was going to be special, and he has been. And then Kyle Heckel, gotten a lot of, delay a game was the call, excuse me. So 1st and 15, they hand the ball off to Kamar Wheaton trying to go left. And he will not have any running room. He'll just get a couple, maybe 1 to the 16-yard line.
You know, Don Wood and his staff, they've really done a good job of setting up a game plan tonight to control. It's a very tough task, and that is to control Kamar Wheaton.
So it'll be 2nd down and 14 as the ball goes back to the 20. Well, they're going to say it's 2nd and 13 from the 27-yard line. 38-14 Jesuit, 8:52 to go in the third quarter. Adams fires it high, incomplete. Trying to hit Caleb Reed, the junior. He's got a couple of catches tonight. He's been kind of the short thread as far as short passing game. No big catches for him.
You know, we mentioned Coach Don Wood, and he's the defensive coordinator, but, longtime friends Rick Leal and Billy Thompson and Charlie DeLong and Paul Maturi, they all contribute to this excellent Jesuit defense.
No, they sure do. I'm glad you said that, Jack. On 3rd down tonight, Lakeview Centennial only 1 for 6. They hand the ball off to Kamar Wheaton. About 4 jerseys meet him. They force him back up. Ford Buckner makes the play after Austin Wood tripped him up.
Kamar Wheaton is brought down.
It's going to be 4th down and about 7. Then it's punting time.
Number of Rangers in there on that one, Tom. I saw Austin Wood, Ford Buckner, and a host of other Rangers. No room to run for Kamar Wheaton.
6th punt of the night, and we still have 8:20 to go in the third quarter. Alaka was back at about the 45-yard line. Let's see if Christian maybe can set up a nice return here. Villarreal's kick. Oh, that's his best kick of the night. And Alaka will take it back at the 35-yard line and is immediately dropped at about the 34-yard line. Great coverage. Brian Jones made the tackle 43 yards on the kick.
And that was almost more like, since it was over his head, like he was catching a big throw than a punt return.
No, it really was. And that's a difficult catch. And I said the 34. It's back at the 29. My apologies. So Alako does a nice job. Charlie Cook, E.J. Smith, and Alako all to the right side. Wyatt Garrett to the left side. Taylor's in the backfield with Rance Holman as the Rangers up 24 have the ball again. Holman steps up from the rush, being pressured, rolls right, lets it go, and trying to get to E.J. Smith. It was kind of thrown between Alako and Smith, and it goes incomplete.
Yeah, I wasn't sure exactly where he was headed there, but he was being chased. That's a couple of times tonight when Rance was rolling out to his right and just couldn't get his footing because of the pressure from the Lakeview Centennial defense.
Second down 10. Jesuit, their own 29-yard line. Up 24, 7:53. The incomplete pass stops the clock. There's the handoff to Taylor. Gets the block, gets around the corner again, hit out of bounds. Pretty big-time hit over there by Ja'Cory Tarver. Short of a first down. It'll be third down and about 5.
At the 34-yard line.
Rangers really, with this big lead, would love to control the ball a little bit more. They scored quickly twice in this quarter already.
There's the snap. Handoff. E.J. Smith trying to find a little daylight, not able to do so. And it's going to be fourth down and a 5 as really not much of a gain, maybe a half a yard to the 35-yard line. And up 24. Does Jesuit go for it here?
No.
I don't think so either, but I don't see anybody coming in unless we're going to maybe see one of those quick kicks. Now they're going to send the punting unit in.
And Rance does have the capability of doing that, but at this point, Parker's been kicking the ball extremely well, and there's not much wind, if any. Chris showed us at halftime, I think the wind was at 0 miles per hour.
Parker Brown is the kicker, and there he gets it away. Burke is back to receive the kick. It's going to take another Jesuit bounce inside the 35-yard line. They're going to mark it out at the 32. Third punt of the night, 33 yards on the kick, 6:59 to go here in the third quarter. Jack, seems like a couple of weeks in a row, maybe 3 or 4 weeks. We were out of here at about 9:45, quick games. We're not complaining, though. We're up 24. We'll take this one.
Hey, we don't get to do enough games, and we're in the playoffs, and we know the season's going to end here sooner or later, and so we're enjoying it. This is, if Lakeview Centennial doesn't do much here, this is becoming very reminiscent of the first half where a lot of quick scoring early and then things slowed down a bit.
First and 10. They hand the ball off to Wheaton. He cuts it up to the left side and gets a yard, and that is it. And he was hit really hard by Austin Wood.
Kamar Wheaton is brought down after a gain
Just
1 yard by Austin
Wood. Did a good job on his right defensive end position, just going right down the line of scrimmage. Don't penetrate and give Wheaton a chance to cut back inside. He just went right down the line and made a good hard tackle.
Second down 9 for Lakeview Centennial at their own 33-yard line. 3-man front for Jesuit. Play action. Adams looking over the middle. He fires. Good play by Jalen Spicer to knock it away. He was on Jalen Davis, and it's knocked away, incomplete.
Yeah, Jalen timed that perfectly and just right at the perfect moment reached up and swatted that ball away.
Third down, Patriots at their own 33-yard line. They are 1 for 7 on third down. Third down has not been kind to Lakeview Centennial. Caleb Reed over to the left side. 2 wide receivers to that left side, 1 to the right. Now they'll swing out Wheaton to the right. They're going to swing it over to him. Makes a move on Ford Buckner, but Ford stays with him, and then Tommy Roy comes in and cleans up with a big hit. It's going to be fourth down and about 7. Boy, did you see how Ford stayed with them in that open field? That was impressive.
I agree. He didn't make the tackle, but he was right there, got down very low, just looking right at the numbers of Kamar Wheaton and didn't go for any fakes and held him off enough to where Tommy Roy could come in and finish him off. Good play by both of those guys.
7th punt of the night, and we still have 5:43 clock running in the third quarter. Alaco's back at his own 30-yard line to receive the kick. Another high, booming kick. It's not as far as the last one, but it was really high, and it's going to drop at about the 36-yard line, and that's where it will be down, and that's where Jesuit will take over. 29 yards on the kick.
Not much on the punt returns tonight because both kickers are kicking it up pretty high.
Jack, I think I mentioned that my daughter Mary Beth here with us tonight. A couple of friends of hers with her, Mike Stout and Megan Sickler. I've known her for a long time. Handoff. E.J. Smith steps into the line of scrimmage and maybe gets 2 to about the 38-yard line.
Well, I've known Mike for a couple weeks now, and he walked in and he didn't remember who I was. So obviously, I didn't make a great impression on him the first time, but I'll try to do better this time.
Second down, 8 for Jesuit at their own 38-yard line. Wyatt Garrett wide to the left side. Play action. Holman drops it over to Charlie Cook, and he will be taken down for a very small gain to about the 40-40. Did you see Wyatt Garrett was kind of running the deep pattern? I thought they might look for him, but they dumped it off to Cook.
You know, that's another one, Tom, you need to remember, because I know you love naming those young guys that you know will have a significant role next year, and you talked about Kyle Heckel and Jake Taylor. Let's throw Charlie Cook in that bunch.
No, absolutely. He's been solid this year. Handoff to Jake Taylor. Oh, my goodness. He is hit. Ball comes loose, and Lakeview Centennial, I think, has it at the 41-yard line. The ball came loose, and it bounced right into the arms of Nicholas Calais, the defensive lineman who's a junior. And Lakeview Centennial down 24 points, 38-14, gets good field position at the Jesuit 42.
Yeah, that's what the Rangers, of course, want to avoid as a turnover. But let me just tell you, Jake Taylor hustles as much as anyone. He runs so hard, and he was hit very hard that time by the tackler.
Yeah, and I think that may have got that helmet on the ball, and it just kind of shook it loose. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They hand the ball off straight up the gut. Tommy Roy, who else makes the play? Here's some scores. Prosper 24, Wiley 0, Allen 55, Saxey 13, Rockwall 44, Harker Heights 7, setting up a Rockwall versus Allen matchup next week. And Southlake 84, Louisville 0. Brian Montgomery tells us that's not a typo, that's the actual score.
You know, remember back in the day when Louisville was just a dominant program?
Oh, I know. The Louisville Fighting Farmers. Ball thrown is going to be dropped. Should have been a completion to Zachariah Dunston. Jared Adams' ball on the money, but Dunston, I think, was looking to see where he was going to make that move, Jack, before he secured it.
Yeah, I thought he caught it. I mean,
I did too.
I think I was just so much expecting that to happen. I thought he did it because there was about 3 Rangers around him, but I guess they were able to get the incomplete there.
So 3rd down and long after the turnover at the Ranger 40-yard line. Big play. Back to pass, and he's down. Austin Woods forced him to go to the ground, and Jared Adams comes up a little bit gimpy. It looks like he's now running more off under his own power, but the Ranger defense putting a little bit of a hole on the turnover, Jack, holds, and it's punting time again for Lakeview Centennial.
Well, defensive coordinator Don Woods has to love the play by Austin Wood, his senior, because I'll tell you, he's been all over the field this half.
He has been all over the field, and there is no relation.
Not between the Wood or the Woods.
No, not between the Wood and then the Woods. As you said, there's the kick, and that's a good kick. And Alaco will field it at about the 6-yard line. Takes it up the field to near the 15-yard line, and let's see where they spot him down. And it'll be there with 3:08 to go in the 3rd quarter. Well, that was a big hold by the Jesuit defense after the turnover.
Yeah, it was. And, you know, I know Centennial's going to feel like they really missed an opportunity there, but the Ranger defense has been so responsive. Liam McColgan talked about it at halftime, said how well our defense has been playing, and he's right as we continue here. And that's 3 punts in a row this half for the Lakeview Centennial team, and they're all 3 and outs after that touchdown that they scored early in the 3rd quarter.
Short gain up to about the 21-yard line, 2:56 to go here in the 3rd quarter. It's been all Jesuit tonight, 38-14. If they hold on and get this win, it looks like the next opponent will be Longview down in Kincaid Stadium in the southern part of Dallas. Handoff up to about the 25-yard line. Jake Taylor on the carry is going to be short of a first down by about a yard.
Well, there's certainly going to be no hesitancy to go back to Jake Taylor. You know, even though he fumbled the ball the last time, he was hit so hard, and, you know, Jake's been so dependable, you wouldn't hesitate to give it to him in the first second.
3rd down 1, under center. Rance Holman. Now he backs away, still has 15 seconds on the play clock. Thought he was going to get under center, maybe sneak it on 3rd and short. But he's back in his normal shotgun formation. He hands the ball off to Taylor. who bursts into the secondary and is down at the 34-yard line.
You know, that was kind of a cool play. You got a smart quarterback in Rance Holman and a smart center in Branson Hickman, 3rd and short. Run up there real quick and see if you can get the other team to jump off sides. When they didn't, you just go back and run your normal play.
1st and 10. Jesuit trying to just milk some clock with a 24-point lead. Here comes Alaco in motion to the near side with Garrett. They'll hand the ball off to E.J. Smith. He is taken down behind the line of scrimmage, so just much like Kamar Wheaton is being keyed on, looks like the defensive line is watching where E.J. Smith is going. Of course, he's already got 3 touchdowns tonight.
Yeah, he's a touchdown machine. I saw in the Dallas Morning News, I don't know exactly what it was, but he scored almost 100 points this year. He's just been there's been so many games when even when people are keying on him, he still winds up getting a bunch of touchdowns, and so he adds so much to this offense.
Yeah, and it's so great to see him back. 2 weeks ago, injured with the hand, and he has come back with a flourish tonight. 1 minute to go in the 3rd quarter. They'll do a little screenplay to Jake Taylor. Gets a block up to the 40-yard line. Still on his feet to the 45-yard line. He's going to have a first down on 2nd and 14. Great play call there.
And, he was being led down the field by right guard senior David Morales, who told me today in class, he said, Mr. Fitz, if you could just mention on the air that I'm the best guard in the state. And he started laughing then, and then I told Gabe Morales, the left guard, what he said, and he said, Mr. Fitz, I don't think you should say that. And so they were having some good-natured fun, but this offensive line does a great job.
Can we say Jesuits Morales?
There you go.
Both great guards. 1st and 10. Handoff, Kyle Heckel. He is hit behind the line of scrimmage and is going to be dropped. Tackle was made by Jonathan Brown, and that'll do it for the 3rd quarter. Let's take a quick break. It's 38-14 Jesuit, 4th quarter action when we return on 770 KAAM.
Tom, for sure, the Rangers well in control.
Yeah, 44-14. A dominant performance here at Postell Stadium. There's the snap, the hold, the kick, brought to you by Core 5 Industrial Partners and John Lineball. And it's 45-14 with 6:22 to go. And do we start looking ahead to Longview?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think it's time that you can actually do that without feeling like you're being unsportsmanlike. The Rangers really took care of things. That was a long drive, and a drive that's reminiscent of a good offensive line against a tired defense for Lakeview Centennial. And so the Rangers just need to take care of the ball here, not turn it over, don't want to get any injuries, and let's close this one out.
And the Lone Rangers, Jesuit, running around with those flags as they do every week. Great spirit. Now, are all the Lone Rangers seniors, or could they be juniors and sophomores as well? I'm not sure how they do the Lone Rangers.
No, we could have some that aren't seniors.
Okay. Jack, how about that scoring drive?
All right, this scoring drive sponsored by Condon, Tobin, Sladek, Thornton, Bill Sladek, class of 78, Mike Gavin, class of 98. 17 plays, 84 yards. It took 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Jake Taylor, the junior, a 10-yard run, his 3rd touchdown tonight and his 8th overall. 45-14 Jesuit.
And Garnett Burke calls for the fair catch, and it's a 45-14 score. 6:22 to go in this one.
Well, this is a good win. You know, the Rangers have had a number of Bi-District championships. We've been a little bit unlucky drawing Longview. How many times have we get Longview in the 2nd round, Tom? It's been great.
Oh, Jack, I know that. Is this going to be the 3rd? I think this is going to be the 3rd time that we've played Longview in the playoffs.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So we enjoyed having Tyus Hill with us tonight. And we'll look forward to Tyus's tips next week for Longview. High snap. Ball thrown by Jarrett. Out to the outside. It's incomplete. Jarrett Adams. And, you talked about Don Wood and Paul Maturi and this great staff on defense. I mean, a lot of veteran coaches here, but this has been a nice defensive performance.
Oh, it's been great, and our defense has been very, very sharp this year. That's one of the real highlights of our season.
So 45-14 your score. They swing it out to the left side. Swing it out to the left side and just nothing doing again. Great play by Robert Fitzgerald. If Fitzgerald didn't get him, Cooper Manning was right there. Jack, Cooper Manning's a guy that's really come on, I think, of late. I'm not saying he wasn't playing good early. He probably was, but I'm calling his name a lot.
No, I agree. And, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, but you mentioned a bunch of guys on offense that are going to be coming back next year. We're going to miss a lot of guys from this stout Jesuit defense, but we've got some returners, too, and Cooper Manning's one we're going to depend upon.
Oh, yeah, he's going to – and this is great experience he's gotten. On third down tonight, 1 for 9. 1 for 9 for Lakeview Centennial. Mitchell Campbell coming with the rush, and look at that. Jarrett Adams had no choice but to just unload it. Mitchell Campbell was coming, and he looked like a freight train coming in there, Jack, and he was coming in untouched.
Yeah, the Rangers brought the extra pressure there. Mitchell Campbell coming from his linebacker position, and he was there so quickly. The quarterback, all he had to do was get rid of it. He didn't have really a choice.
9th punt of the night. So our friends at the Dallas Morning News, I think, called this one a toss-up, Jack, and that's what I thought it was going to be. But it's been all Jesuit tonight. They have dominated. And Christian Alaco's back to receive this kick with 5:26 to go in the ballgame. Now, don't go away. We will have the Tim W. Robinson DDS postgame show. The kick is good, taken by Alaco, fair caught at the 38-yard line. That'll give us a chance to talk about Mosquito Nicks after the 37-yard punt.
And as we lead into the Mosquito Nicks ad, we want to say Chris tells us that that's the fourth consecutive 3-and-out for Lakeview Centennial. And, got to hand it to the Rangers defense there for playing so well.
Folks, we live in Texas. There's mosquitoes everywhere. You got to call our friend Dan O'Neill at Mosquito Nicks. Win the war with Mosquito Nicks. Learn more at mosquitonicks.com. Handoff. Sam Morales. Connor Naughton is in the game getting some playoff experience. These two young men went to parochial school together. I love saying that, Jack, but I love seeing them in the game together. Nice gain for about 3 yards.
Yeah, let's go ahead now so we'll be able to name a bunch of guys that are in the game. Jake Aldinger, a senior at wide receiver. I was speaking to him today earlier in the day, wishing him good luck on this game. I see at number 72, Matthew Craycraft in at the offensive line, 64, Andrew Porter, another senior. We'll keep it going.
Connor Naughton in the shotgun formation. 2nd down 7. Cole Younger and Ryan Schur also in the game. Ball is going to be Charlie Clements to the right side. He's taken down, and it's good to see Charlie Clements back out there. Of course, he had that ACL last year in the first game, and he looks good.
He's another one that we'll be depending upon in the future. We've got Oscar Jarman, number 67, in the game.
3rd down, Rangers.
Jack, you do such a great job of talking about all these guys that are in. Did you mention Sam Kelly? I think I see him in there as well. So 3rd down, 11 from the right hash. 2 wide receivers right, trying to milk that clock. Connor Naughton, he's been getting some good experience this year, hands the ball off. Sam Morales again, and he's up to about the 39-yard line, and that is it. And it's punting time for Jesuit.
Ryan Schur, who was in there at the left wide receiver position. He's a junior, and so we'll try to keep going with those guys. You mentioned some as well. Tom, and when we get a chance to say their names, we love to do it because these guys work hard.
Oh, they work as hard as anybody, and this is a team sport, no doubt about it. Jack, you mentioned this earlier, I love the names on the jerseys but they do it just in the playoffs, which is pretty cool.
That's right. Barron Johnson was another person in the game, the junior offensive lineman.
Garnett Burke back to receive this punt from Parker Brown. A good kick. It's going to take a Jesuit roll inside the 30-yard line to about the 24-yard line, where it will be downed by Cooper Manning.
And remember, I told you no subs on the special teams.
No subs on the special teams. That's right. I mean, big Austin Woods running around out there.
Yeah, it's too confusing. That's why it doesn't matter if you're up by 6 touchdowns and the second or third string's in. When it's time to punt or return a punt or things like that, no subs. So, we try to bring everybody all the nitty-gritty, don't we, Mr. Walsh?
We sure do. Now, I'm looking at Austin Wood and Wyatt Garrett. Austin Wood is a huge young man, but he looks short out there next to the 6'8".
Yeah, Austin's a big man.
I mean, Austin's about 6'4", right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So 1st and 10 for Lakeview Centennial. 45-14 is your score. Handoff. That is Kamar Wheaton, who did not play on the last series. Jared Adams still in at quarterback.
Let's see. We've got number 47, Cy Mendenhall, in the game. I see number 42, Ryan Graham, in the ball game. Let's see here. Keep trying to name these guys as we see them. Jackson Black.
Oh, Jackson.
Number 23.
I see Cy Mendenhall, who plays special teams, but now out there as well. Handoff to Kamar Wheaton. And, Jack, this is going to be, I think, a little bit shocking. He goes over 100 yards tonight. That's about as quiet as 100 yards as you can see.
Very much so. I definitely agree with that. In fact, I'm a little surprised, but it has been a game where he's been contained.
Let's get some more of those players that are out there. I still see Jalen Spicer and Robert Fitzgerald. Mendenhall's at linebacker. Jared Adams throws it to the right side, dropped, incomplete. Coverage on that play by Major Kent.
Yeah, good job by you. I was just going to say, it looked like maybe Major's in the game. So it's great to see these guys out there. And if you're listening and we miss somebody, we certainly don't mean to do that. Will Redding in the game as well. So we've got a bunch of guys getting some playing time.
5th consecutive 3-and-out for Lakeview Centennial. With 1:53 to go in the ball game, it's punting time again. This their 12th punt of the night? No, 10th punt of the night. 10th punt of the night. It's a short kick. It's going to drop on the Lakeview Centennial side of the field and take a Jesuit bounce to about the 43-yard line. 7 yards on the punt. 1:40 to go in this one. And it looks like Jesuit is on a collision course for one of the top teams in the state, the Longview Lobos. We'll have to look up what they're officially state ranked, but they're top 10 right now.
Yeah, they're very good. I think maybe 6th was the last time I saw something. You know, that punt, 7 yards, obviously not very good, but he's had a great punting night. The Lakeview Centennial punter, that one's just, that one doesn't fit in with the rest of the good punts he's had.
I agree. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Handoff. Right side. Charlie Clements on the carry to about the 41-yard line. Gain of a couple. Jesuit just wants to run this one out.
Yeah, that's right.
So 1:25 to go in the ball game. Jesuit has a date next week on Friday night in Kincaid Stadium with the Longview Lobos. We'll be there. You can listen to it on 770 KAAM and JesuitRangers.org.
Gage Roy in at quarterback for the Rangers.
No, good call by you, Gage Roy, 3rd quarterback of the night. Still 9 seconds on the play clock. Morales in the backfield. He gives the ball to Morales. Sam running hard, picking up some hard-earned yards to about the 38-yard line. And Jesuit will have to snap the ball one more time.
Yep, this is a good victory. You got to feel for those kids at Lakeview Centennial a little bit because the season's over now, but the Rangers get to play one more week.
Well, they had a good season, 6-4, but it comes to a halt here at Postell Stadium for the Patriots of Lakeview Centennial. Jesuits moving on to Longview at Kincaid Stadium next Friday night. Handoff. Charlie Clements. Short of a first down, but that'll do it. Your final score tonight, Jesuit 45. They win the Bi-District playoff game. 14 for Lakeview Centennial. We got a lot to talk about in the Tim W. Robinson DDS postgame show.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it. It was a good effort by the Rangers, a good playoff win.
So don't go away. A lot more to talk about. We'll do it all on the Tim W. Robinson DDS postgame show. We will be back in a moment.